last week when we talked about it. We asked, was there concern that Tom Brady didn't have a deal? And I was like, no, because I thought that they would do something before the season started. And just like in Patriot fashion, they zig when you think they're zagging, and they create even more cap space. Yeah, they give Tom Brady the extension, but they created more cap space. And then talking to not only to Belichick this weekend, but talking to another New England executive, and this is how Belichick wants it. Like, he likes a quarterback on a friendly deal that now he can go out potentially and always get 3 to 5 quality football players. So they realize the Tom Brady situation is one of a kind in the NFL. They're trying to take advantage of the window that they pried back open, and being in the last 3 Super Bowls, believe in these next 3 years that they can get a couple more Super Bowl appearances. They were probably going to do it a different way, a different style, but I'm not surprised at all. Robert Kraft has 4 sons officially, biologically. But in his conversation, he always talks about the 5th, and that son being Tom Brady. Right now, you could see even this weekend, Jonathan Kraft is starting to have a more prominent role in the New England franchise. He was at the Hall of Fame weekend. I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. Bill Belichick, I don't know why we keep trying to make him quit. And I don't know why we don't take Tom Brady at its word that he's going to try to play until he's 45. And the only man that can stop him is Belichick. And Belichick doesn't have full control because the Kraft family, they realize how important Tom has been, not only to their overall development, their father in this franchise, and how Mr. Kraft got to $6 billion as far as net worth. Tom Brady had a lot to do with that.
And I'm really happy for Brady because it wasn't just an additional year. It's 2 additional years, which takes him 2/3 of the way to his goal of the age 45 season. So the age 45 season would be this year plus 3 more years. He's now locked in for this year plus 2 more years. To your point, C, he gets an $8 million cash infusion this year. He gets a cash raise, but they also, his cap hit goes from where it was at 27 down to 22. The Patriots already had, I think, about $9 million of cap space left open. Now it's 14, and you mentioned could they add 3 or 4 quality players, or could they add 1 star quality player, a player that is available and that they've been rumored to be poking around at, and that's Trent Williams, the left tackle out of Washington who's disgruntled with his contract. Prior to this even happening, there had been rumors that the Patriots were a team that had been in contact with Washington. Now that they have extra money, could that be the fit, or will they just keep that flexibility open, see who comes available, or roll it into next year? But this is good, obviously, for both sides. For Brady, he gets the security, and the Patriots, they know they don't have to worry about Tom Brady accepting a franchise tag next season, which would put them in a very difficult financial position. And if you look at their roster, they now have the following all locked up for this year and next year. Brady, all of their running backs, Edelman, and, of course, the rookie wide receiver, 4/5 of their offensive line. So that's almost the entirety of their offense that we consider difference makers. On defense, Michael Bennett's locked up. Dante Hightower's locked up. Their entire secondary, except for Devin McCourty, locked up. So you've got, with the exception of Devin McCourty and a guard, everyone that seemingly matters the most for the Patriots locked into this season and next season. That was the case a couple days ago, except for Brady. Now Brady's on that list as well.
We talked about it on Friday. The Patriots, they're all in on Brady and Belichick, but mainly Brady, because Belichick most likely will be there for a while. So they go, he wanted 3 years. They gave him 2. Does that tell you anything about how the negotiations went or what his plan might be? Do you think they had long talks about what he wants and what they would settle for?
Yeah, I think Tom's had different plans than they had the whole time. But they're going to give the deal that's best for the organization. And they understand where they're at with Tom Brady. And I don't think that that 3rd year is really that important to them. 45 doesn't mean anything to them. 2-year extension, given the 1 year, that is 3 years to them. Like, will he be able to make it to 45? We're talking about his contract. I don't believe that's that important. I do believe he's going to try. And there's a reason why he keeps saying that, the reason why he put on the added weight. He's going to try to play until he's 45. So the extension, it is a great thing. The pay raise is a great thing. And, of course, like New England, they're the best in the business. They create more cap space. And I think, Nick, you make a great point. This is the team you're going to see for the next 2 years.
Yep.
You might as well get used to it. This is what we're going to see, and I'm sure Belichick, he's going to tinker with it a little bit. But I believe this physical style for which they're going to play, the same physical style that won them the first 3 Super Bowls, they've been a little more finesse on the last 3 Super Bowls, but I believe they're going back to how they won those original Super Bowls and get after people offensively, going to run the football, going to play to Tom Brady's strength, keep the game close, have him win it in the fourth quarter. Great defense. I believe their defense will definitely be a top 10 defense, top 5 in scoring. They have the best secondary in football, and their special teams typically are one of the top 5, top-to-bottom units that we're going to have in the NFL.
And this is a moment where I think it's important to step back and think about what just happened here. The Patriots, well regarded as maybe the smartest organization in all of sports, just decided it is in their best interest. It is a good move to give $70 million for a player's age 43 and age 44 seasons. That is impossible. That is just 3 years ago, that would have sounded laughable, that we're talking about a guy not playing into his mid-30s, but playing into his mid-40s, and the Patriots saying, sign us up for it. Yes, it is a testament to the way the game has changed and players are aging, all of that. But it is truly a testament to number 12 and to the way he has been able to adjust his game, adjust his body, stay in shape, stay viable into what would be his 3rd decade of professional football. It's absolutely remarkable.
And you wonder if guys like Phillip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger, maybe not Eli Manning, but some of the older guys that were sort of around at the same time are thinking, well, okay, look what he was able to do. He's now opened up the door for us to be playing into our 40s. All right, well, so we just mentioned earlier that Tom Brady just got 2 more years to stay there in New England. Now you got Brady. You obviously have Belichick. How much longer do you think this dynasty can last there in New England?
As long as Belichick's coaching football, man, they're going to have a good football team out there. He understands pro football and the way it can be played. No one has the encyclopedia of football information. Man, he went back to the 80s and 90s and got that Super Bowl game plan for the Rams. Sean McVay was like, where'd that stuff come from? No one does it better than him, and you give him more time to prepare, which the bye weeks become very important. That's why they've been so effective. Yes, it's going to be open. I believe in his ability to be able to coach even beyond what Tom Brady's ability is, because I think he can get a team into the playoffs even if they didn't have Tom Brady. Now, he's been in this unique window with the GOAT at quarterback, but they've had several different styles. They've had all different types of coaches move, all different types of players move. The only constant has been Brady and Belichick. And you have seen last year when they couldn't throw the ball, they went to a more physical attack, running the football, playing to their defense. He will coach to the roster that he has. So as long as he's there, I believe the window will be open to win a championship.
What we saw from them last year, I thought, in the last 2 games of the season, a perfect example how, without the other one, individually, each of these guys would be really good. But it's the 2 guys together that, to me, make them the champion. In the AFC Championship game, Belichick couldn't have won that game without Tom Brady. And without Tom Brady, 3rd and 5 with less than a minute left, 25-yard pass down to the goal line. In overtime, 3 3rd and 10 plays. Edelman, Gronk. That takes greatness at your quarterback position. And Tom Brady in the Super Bowl could not have won that game without Bill Belichick's game plan, holding the Rams, one of the highest-scoring teams in the NFL all year, to 260 yards total, 2 rushing first down. So I think let's just assume Belichick coaches past Brady's career, which I think is a safe bet. I think they'll continue to be a playoff team. I think they'll continue to be good. But this level of championship excellence, to me, ends when the partnership ends. What's the comparison that's always made to the Patriots is Duncan and Popovich in the NBA. Since Duncan retired, the Spurs have been good. They've been to the playoffs. They made a Western Conference Finals even. But they have not been a championship caliber team since they lost that great player, even though at the very end of his run, he was not the best player in the league as he was early, similar to Tom Brady. So I guess it depends on how you define dynasty. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I think there's too many moving parts in football. I got into a great conversation with John Calipari and Jimbo Fisher doing the event We Have Mutual Friends. And Jimbo is always talking about how much more he has to know to do his job than Coach Cal has to know. Because if you have someone like Duncan, and the reason why I disagree, because Brady doesn't play defense. He doesn't play special teams. He didn't kick any of those field goals. And when we talk about Brady trying to, okay, well, Belichick couldn't have done it without Brady. Well, Belichick still had the defense that kept him in the game. See, Brady doesn't affect the roster like Belichick does. That's why I have to disagree with you as far as Tim Duncan, because the guy who's the 53-man on the roster, Belichick has an effect on him. Tom Brady doesn't. No matter what, this guy's running down on kickoffs, running down on punts. Tom Brady can't do anything to help him do his job. But Belichick comes up with a scheme, puts him in the right position, puts other guys so where his weaknesses won't be exploited, and specifically marks out a task for him to do, something that he can accomplish. So how he affects the rest of the roster and his effect on the game is totally different than basketball with one player, with Pop. There's so many other things that he's got to be able to do to have an effect. That's why I believe he will always be effective in pro football and believe that he can win with it. When they got Matt Castle as the quarterback, they won 10 games, right?
11.
Yeah, 11 games. That right there speaks to his greatness. I think he's understood football a lot better in these last 15 years, and I believe that what he's learned with Brady will allow him to go on and coach a variety of different styles.
Oh, and I think it speaks to Belichick's just universally accepted greatness that I think most people fully believe that if Brady were to retire this year, next year, whenever, the Patriots will still be right there in it. But you say all the time, see a great quarterback in this league. The great ones are worth 3 to 4 wins, something like that. And so even if Belichick makes it to where he can make a mediocre quarterback worth 1 to 2 wins as opposed to the 3 to 4.
Yeah.
One of the reasons the Patriots have been to 9 Super Bowls is because they never play in the first round, because they always have a bye, because they have home field advantage. And we bring up that 11-5 team the year Brady tore his ACL. 11-5 is one way to look at it. The other way is they were 16-0 the year before. So they went from the greatest regular season team ever to -5 wins. So I don't think the Patriots era, meaning like, all right, cross them off, now all of a sudden the Jets and Darnold are going to run the division. I don't believe that. But I think it is the combination that has made them the dominant force. I think it's very, very tough.
I'm just going to always skew it because I know. I had too many conversations with head coaches, and I know all the great quarterbacks that played the game. I know the effect and lack of effect that they have on the real roster and on winning. I know that it's slanted. You might want to give Brady, even if you're being generous, giving him 40% is giving him too much. Because what Belichick, the mentality, the do your job, that's not Tom Brady. Practicing in the cold, on unpleasant conditions. You think that's Tom Brady? No. It's such Belichick and what they do and how the front office operates. It's so much Belichick. To me, I'm going to say it's 70-30. Belichick with the 70, Brady with the 30.
We keep talking about the Patriots up here and everyone else is just so far down. If this dynasty were to end, who's the other team out there in the league right now with the intangibles to be the next dynasty?
Oh, I don't think we will ever see anything like this in pro football again.
There's no team that's even close to being able to touch this?
No, because you did have to have the perfect storm of it. Like you're mentioning 70-30, whatever the percentage is, you had to have the perfect storm of the greatest and the greatest at the 2 most important spots on the team.
Yeah, you also have to have an owner that believes, I'm getting ready to trade a draft pick because this guy is just as valuable. I'm getting ready to turn the organization over. I'm going to grow with him. We're going to stay together. We're going to groom this quarterback that we're going to get on a low-budget salary for 10, 15 years. No, it's not possible. Never will happen again.
All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.